Hello everyone, myself Pranay Sharkar and you are watching Kempro YouTube channel. Please watch the complete video and don't skip. I promise you will get extra and learn the topic like never before. Today our topic is orbital contribution. Then let's start. Orbital contribution or spin orbit coupling. This is a very important topic from coordination chemistry when we are going to calculate the magnetic moment of a coordination compound, or when we are going to compare the magnetic moments of several coordination compounds. So for transition metals, there will be contribution of both orbital motion and spin of electrons to the magnetic moment, and hence we will use the formula mu L plus S equal to root over 4s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1 Bohr magneton. Now two cases will arise. First one is L equal to 0 and second one is L not equal to 0. That means when L equal to 0 there is no orbital contribution, and for L not equal to 0 there is orbital contribution. For L equal to 0 we will use the spin only value, that is mu s equal to 4s into s plus 1 Bohr magneton, and for L not equal to 0 we will use mu L plus s equal to 4s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1 Bohr magneton. Now what are the conditions for spin orbit coupling? So first one is energy of orbitals should be same. Second one is shape of orbitals should be same or similar, and third one is after transition of electron the spin of electron should not be changed. Now here we have 5d orbitals. Okay, 5d orbitals, and it will split like this. This is T2g and this is Eg, where it is the d x square minus y square, and this is d z square. This is dxy, dyz, and dzx or xz. Okay, so here Eg orbitals, two Eg orbitals are in same energy. Okay, in same energy like the first condition of the spin orbit coupling, and in the three T2g orbitals are in same energy, but we have to look for the shape of the orbital. So for dx square minus y square, it is like the along the axis. Okay, it is x and this is y, but for dz square it is like this. This is dz square orbital. This is z axis, is x axis, and here it is y axis. So we can say that the shape of the orbital are different for Eg orbital, but if we consider the dxy, then it will be like this. This is xy, this is yz, and this is dxz or dzx. That means the shape of the orbitals are same. That is the second condition fulfilled, but here the second condition not fulfilled. Okay, then we only consider the T2g orbital. Okay, we only consider the T2g orbitals. So here two cases will arise. First one is when T2g is symmetrically filled, then here it is a T2g orbital and it is symmetrically filled. Okay, so if we transit this electron to this, then all we can get that is like this, this and this. So here all we can see that the spin of the electron is changed. Okay, spin of electron changed, but the third condition was the spin of electron should not be changed. Then we should not consider this, that is T2g symmetrically filled. When T2g is symmetrically filled, there will be no orbital contribution. Now the second condition is when T2g is unsymmetrically filled. Okay, so for example, it is the T2g orbital. Then if the electron is unsymmetrically filled like this, that is T2g2, if we transit this electron to this, then all we can get is like this here and here. That means the spin of electron is not changed. Okay, so or we can say that spin of electron not changed. So we will consider this condition. So all we can just recall, or we should remember one point, and that will be the when there is a T2G orbital is unsymmetrically filled, then we will consider the orbital contribution. We should remember this point, but this is only for the octahedral complexes. But for tetrahedral complexes, all we can see that the T2 orbital, okay, the T2 orbital should unsymmetrically filled. So now we will check for the system for octahedral complexes and tetrahedral complexes which configurations will contribute to the orbital contribution. Here the D1 for D1 configuration, there is T2G1, that is unsymmetrically filled T2G orbital, and it will contribute to the orbital contribution. Okay, for D2 it is T2G2, for D4 it is T2G4, and for D5 it is D5 low spin, it is T2G5, for D6 high spin it is T2G4, and for D7 high spin it is T2G5. And for all these configurations, that is D1, D2, D4 low spin, D5 low spin, D6 high spin, and D7 high spins, this will the case for the orbital contribution for an octahedral system. So now we will check some tetrahedral systems. Here the D3 configuration has T21, okay, and D4 configuration has T22, D8 has T24, and D9 has T25. For all these configurations, the T2 is unsymmetrically filled, and for those configuration we will get the orbital contribution. Now let's check some examples. First example is Ti H2O whole 6 3+. So for this, titanium 3+ is the D1 system. That means it is T2G1 and EG0 system. That means the T2G is unsymmetrically filled here, or we can say this is a triply degenerate system. That means here we can have the orbital contribution. Okay, we have the orbital contribution. Now secondly, if we consider the Mn H2O whole 6 2+. So for this, here Mn2+ is a D5 system and the complex is high spin. Okay, because the H2 is a low field ligand. So for that we can have the configuration like T2G3 and EG2. That means here T2G is not unsymmetrically filled. So here no orbital contribution. Okay, for this T2G3, here no orbital contribution. But if we take MnCN whole 6 4- as an example, then all we can see that here Mn2+ being a D5 low spin complex, this Cn is a strong field ligand. It's a strong field ligand, that is here D5 system is a low spin complex. That means here it is Eg, here it is T2G. So the electron will be like this: 1 2 3 4 and 5. So we can say that it is unsymmetrical T2G. So here we can have the orbital contribution. Okay, here we can have the orbital contribution. Now the third example is fourth example is CO H2O whole 6 2+. So here it is H2O. Okay, so for this, here CO 2+ is a D7 high spin cation. Okay, because this is a low field ligand. Okay, so for that we can have the configuration like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. This is Eg and this is T2G orbital. So all we can say that here T2G is unsymmetrically filled. So we can say we can have here the orbital contribution. We can have the orbital contribution here. Now, one important thing is for this CO H2O whole 6 2 plus. If we here the CO is D7 high spin. So if we check the electronic configuration, then we can see that electrons are like this. So here the mu value for the 3 unpaired electron should be 3.94 magneton, but the mu experimental value is 5.20 Bohr magneton, and this is only because of the mu in only value and the mu orbital contribution. So the value is higher than the expected. So all we can say that the mu experimental value is higher than the mu expected value, okay, for the orbital contribution. Thanks for watching the complete video. If you really enjoyed, please like the video and subscribe the channel to motivate me, and hit the bell icon to get all the notifications. And if you have any suggestion or query, please comment down below.